Alright, welcome back to another end of day episode. Right. As always, Euro JPY heavily bullish, and we came into this 4 hour in the morning. When I opened the charts, we were around here somewhere. Obviously, I wasn't looking for sales at this point because I had the idea that the 4 hour might hold and we see a boom, and we got exactly that, even though we did switch bearish right there. In the back of my mind, I did think about it switching bearish, right, to facilitate the pullback into here and then just going up, right? And then that's exactly what happened. So nothing in there for me today. And then we had, as I'm thinking about this, right, okay, we took 2 losses in here, right? I'll have to explain them individually. Thing is, do I want to open up Notion? Okay, let me explain them in chronological order, right? So they make a little bit more sense. Okay, firstly, the general overview, right? This would have happened within this 4 hour zone, right? Okay, so the 4 hour comes in, right? This was the first reaction on the 4 hour, and then come in again, right? After this internal low holds, we come in again. Now, my thought process at the time, we are within this 4 hour, right? And we are bearish on the 4 hour here, but remember the 4 hour could switch bearish to facilitate the daily pullback, which is exactly what happened, right? This held and then it starts pushing up. But in terms of the daily, not the daily, intraday, that's the word. In terms of the intraday, right, we are within this 4 hours, so the higher it goes in, the more you would expect a pullback, right? More especially because we did have a 15-minute break of structure. Now, the more I thought about this, the more I realized how really bad the trade was, right? So let me just explain this. Just move this back. But just a reminder, we are within the 4 hour. Okay, so my thought process coming in, right, is we are within the 4 hour. We've had a break of structure. After a 15-minute break of structure, we obviously expect a pullback, right? We expect a pullback. We expect a pullback down. This happens. This is 7:45. We have a sweep of this Asian high, right? Sweep of the Asian high, it pushes down, and then this is the nearest change of character right here, right? The nearest low, and we had a close below the low there. Now, in terms of my thought process, okay, I see we swept the high. Okay, good sign for bearish plays, and then we have this nearest low being the candle closes below the nearest low. Now I'm thinking, okay, we could see it sell from here to facilitate the pullback into whatever, whether it be in here or a little bit lower into this 4 hour. But this happened. Okay, it went past, and then okay, wait, let me explain the entire idea, then the feeling behind the ideas, right? Okay, so at this point, we represent this in a bigger manner, right? Sweep, we come close below this internal low, right? So all we have here, actually, in actuality, all we have is a 15-minute chalk, right? 15-minute chalk, because the nearest actual low would still be this, right? Even though this is not like the actual low, because the actual low would be down here, right, where the market moves down and out, creates an actual low. This would have been like an internal low, right? Now this is still hyper aggressive compared to a low that actually formed with these candlesticks moving down and then up. This is still hyper aggressive. Now in my mind, I see this, okay, the chart, it closes below. I'm aggressive with it, right? I want to get involved because I'm thinking we are within the 4 hour. We need to have a pullback, not need, but we are likely to have a pullback on the 15-minute. So I switch to a aggressive play. Now the mistake, where does the mistake come from? This actual trade in reality is actually counter swing and counter internal, and we have spoken a lot of times about counter swing, counter internal, that you just don't trade those because they are bad, as I have again experienced. Horrible. Now this is one factor, right? The other factor is the actual entry itself. Oh God. The actual entry in itself is so iffy, right? Very iffy. Like I also look back at this and I'm like, what the hell am I actually doing, man? What the hell am I? So remember the pattern I always look for is a, okay, we're selling, right? So when we're selling, the market needs to go up, create the pattern for me to go down, right? So the pattern would be, we go up, right, create a low. After creating a low, we sweep the high, right, and then we sweep the low. After sweeping the high, that's when we enter, which would have been this candle, right, looking for that to go, right? This is the actual entry model. Now if you look at this, you probably will not see this, right, because this happened on the M1 minute actually, and it's very iffy. It's so iffy and bad, right? Okay, I'll have this here and then compare to what I'm saying. You have a low here, right? It goes up. What is this? What am I using? What is this? You have, this is the low, right after the chart. This is the low. This is the high, right? You have a low again. What am I even cooking here? I just cooked, bro. You have a low, you have a high, and then we have the sell. Okay, I might just cook myself here because what have I done? Why does not know the entry model? You have it down, right? Boom. Sweeps that. Have I just blundered everything? Because what the hell did I see? What the hell did I see? I guess I'm realizing even in real time that I did not see the right thing. 158. So for entry model, a strong liquidation is for a sell. A strong liquidation would be this, right? The market moves. The market needs to move up, right? Which creates a high, but that high needs to be strong, right? The high needs to be strong. So how do you get a strong high? Get a strong high by creating a low, right? The market needs to move up, create a low, and then sweep that, and then that's the trade. I have just majorly confused myself. Okay, I'm gonna pause right here and just while editing, just skip forward. I need to look at this and okay, or I'll just speak while I am looking for examples. But this literally should be examples of a strong liquidation right here. LC2A. Well, what happened? Like, it's insane that now you're in the moment and I may have forgotten what a strong liquidation looks like. What do you mean I've forgotten, man? What do you mean I've forgotten what a strong liquidation looks like? LQEM. What LQCA for? LC. What the hell is that? Okay, M15. Right, so I will switch looking for liquidation in there. Okay, on the entry. Okay, we're looking to buy, right? So what do we have? We have, let me draw this. I'm looking at it on my Notion, but I'm gonna draw it on here, right? The market is coming down, right? With the internal bar, we create a high, right? But this high needs to be strong, so it needs to create a low, right? After creating a low, the high will be swept, and then we sweep the low, yeah, to create a strong liquidation. The strong liquidation would then be here. This would be a strong liquidation here, because this is a low, right? This is a high, and then we create a strong high. We sweep the strong high, right? This would be a liquidity sweep, LQ sweep. But first you would have had to have one over here, an LQ sweep here, which makes this a strong liquidation, right? This is what we are looking for. For this one is for buys, like this is what you need to see for a buy, which means, can I rotate this somehow? How would I rotate this? Going forward, going back. Okay, I wish I could rotate this, but for cells it would have to be, Jesus man, why can't I visualize this now? Why can't I visualize it for a cell? Oh my, I can't believe I'm starting with this. This is actually just planned. It's literally right here, man. I just need to flip it. I just need to flip it over. Okay, okay. For cells, right? I'm trying to sell. So what would I need? Right? I need the market to move down, right? And then to create a high that sweeps a low, right? Which would be strong, right? And then it will get swept. Is this it, man? This is not the same thing. Even if you stretch this like that, I am so confused right now. I have confused myself. I have confused myself with an easy concept, the concept I use day in, day out. I've absolutely mind fucked myself. Okay, this is for buys, right? Market goes down, right? Creates a high, and then it sweeps that high. Yes, and then it sweeps this, right? To confirm this was a strong high, and then we go down, right? And then after we go down here, we're looking for buys on the F5 on the candle close, right? We're looking for buys. So that is the eventuality. This is as simple as it gets. So if you were to reverse this, you would have the market for sells. For a sell, okay, the market would have to be moving down, right? Market is moving down, it comes back in. Let me look for sell example. I don't know why it is not in my mind. USD buy, USD sell. I don't know why it's just not in my mind for whatever reason, man. Okay, 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 we have one here. I don't know why this concept is just not in my mind. Okay, we have it go up, right? Creates a low, and then this low has to be confirmed by creating a high, and then we sweep this low so we can sweep the high for a strong liquidation. Alright, and then once we have the strong liquidation here within the POI, we look for the sell. So it's something like this. It's literally this in reverse, but I couldn't fucking bring my mind to it. So we're looking for this. Like this is for buys, this is for sells. Jesus, man, I don't know. It took me a whole 6 minutes just rambling trying to figure this out. Can I make this smaller, please? Just make it smaller. The idea is the same, I just need it to be smaller so I can compare. Okay, because I'm saying I saw this on the 1 minute, right? It's a little bit easy to explain. Okay. This video is gonna be longer than it needs to be because I have rambled about the easiest of concepts, man. So this is basically what happened in here, right? This. I'm saying that by going to the 1 minute. And I have to prove this on the 1 minute, right? You see, oh my god, how did I see this in real time is the question. Okay, let's try and reprint this, right? We're looking for sells, right? We're looking to sell in here, going down. So what do we need to see after the chalk? Here's the chalk will close here, right? The market would have closed by here at 50 on the 15-minute interval. This is actually bad, man. I got to just restart the whole video, but this is the reality of it, man. This is the reality. Okay. Fuck. Delete this. Come back here. This candle close would have been at 15. Yes, okay, I'm right. Candle close would have been at 15. So we are here, we're looking for this, right? So the 15 candle would have been this one, right? The close, this one 14, this one opens at 15. So this is the 15 close. Alright, so in here, if we can stretch this out to make it easier to draw, right? We have the down. Okay. Can I even draw, man? I can't even draw to save my life now. Okay, we are in here, right? We have the up move, but because this low didn't cross, right, this can count as one move. We have the up, right? We have the up, we have the down. These candles, the lowest on this candle is 15099, and then 15099, 15099. So this is the lowest candle, and then we move up. Okay, yeah, there is no actual trade in here. There actually is no trade because this is just wrong, and I moved the mic, my bad. This is just wrong, and I'm realizing this now that it's just purely wrong. It is purely wrong. Okay, I need to check something on MetaTrader so I can just see the exact candle I entered on, just to make life a little bit easier for myself. I need the exact candle I entered on. Everything. Yeah. Okay, this whole process, right? This whole process is just a testament to how bad the trade actually is, bro. Because it should never, ever be this complicated to explain. It should never ever be this complicated to show you that this is horribly wrong, man. It should have never been this complicated to explain. Because my entry is on this candle here. Can I leave like a circle or something on here? That's where I entered. Which on here would be on this candle here. Right? That was supposed to be this M5 candle going down. Yeah, people, really, what am I saying happened in here? Like, this was terrible. Honestly, very terrible. That's a terrible trade. I don't know where I saw this. This was very bad. Can't even explain it to save my life, man. Horribly bad. Horribly bad. And I'm just realizing now it's worse than I thought. I can't even explain it. What the hell? What the hell? I can't even explain what it is. I cannot even explain what it is. Okay, that is the first trade, right? First trade was in here. This is actually terrible. This is my worst loss this year by far because I can't even explain it, man. Okay, this was the idea, whatever, that idea. And moving on to the second one. The second one would have been on the M50 risk entry, right? Also the same, right? I entered on this one, I took the loss. And go back to the M5. Okay, wait. This is an unnecessarily long video to explain my foolishness. Unnecessarily long to explain my foolishness for real. the zone I was working within, right? So the idea would have been for the market to come in at least to the 50%, which is the wrong way around. It started at the top or bottom? The bottom. It actually started at the bottom like this. Red is 50% and this is 61 point whatever. So the second idea is basically a M15 risk entry within here. This was after the loss, so it would have been within there, right? In my mind, the idea is still valid, right? The idea that I had, which was god awfully wrong, very wrong. The idea was to play the M15 down, and during the whole thing, I was thinking to myself, okay, this, which is okay, right? We coming down, right? Coming down inside bar means the market moved up, alright? It moved up, and then this went lower. The market moves up, it moves down, and then we look to enter on one of these. Now if you notice this is actually a strong liquidation, right? This is the actual strong liquidation. What we did not have on this previous trade, we actually got here. Now we get this, right? Okay, I confirm we have a strong liquidation for the second trade, but then I see this candle, right? I believe it was on this candle forming, and then it comes into the 50%, and I changed my whole idea. Instead of waiting, being more preservative, right? I decided to go with the risk entry of the M15, which was the wrong idea. Had I waited for the M5 to give me a confirmation entry, had I waited, which was supposed to be, let's say for example this candle over here, I would have had to wait for this candle, the next candle, to close below this, which means you would have had something like the market moving up here, and then from here continuing lower. Right? If we had a red candle close below here, only then do you enter. But I did not wait for that. I took the M15 risk, and the M15 risk is a terrible play because the whole idea is bad. As you go back and look at it, you realize that the entire idea is actually wrong. You realize the entire idea is wrong. So yeah, that explains this monstrosity which I thought I saw. Right, in terms of the emotions, I want to say that yesterday there was the potential winner, right, that went from being up over 2%, right, to being a break-even trade, right? So I want to imagine, like, suddenly, without even thinking about it, what happened was you think you see a good idea because you still want to have that winner. You missed out on a winner yesterday, right? Had you managed it differently, you could have had a winner, right? Or you could have taken a 2-up trade, whatever the case may be. Now I'm starting to think, okay, those emotions, even though I did not feel them, they could have still been in there, like lying dormant, right? And then you come in the next day, you start seeing stuff like this where you thought you saw something, but it was in fact not true. And I start to think, could I have still been harboring like emotions from yesterday, and you're a little bit desperate for a winner? Because this happens when you're desperate for a winner. You start to see things that are not there, right? Like right now I'm realizing there's nothing. This is horrible idea what's happening in here. And you only realize now, and I ask myself, is it because of yesterday, right, where you could have potentially had a winner and you didn't get one, instead you took a loss and a break even? Now are you desperate for the winner, where you end up just seeing what's not there? Now this is terrible. Not even in my opinion, it's terrible. Anybody can see it's terrible. But yeah, no use yapping about it. It certainly hurts the baseline, right? It's these kinds of mistakes that really hurt the baseline, because now if you get a winner, not if but when you get a winner, you could have been up by the 2% that you've lost on such tomfoolery. You could have been up, and this is basically the my Achilles heel, right? This is the bane to my existence. These types of mistakes where without these my curve should have been way smoother going up. But because of such mistakes, you the 1 month you fix and then you make dumb mistakes like this, and it just keeps you in this loop like this instead of having a good line going up. So, but it's okay. It's okay. We learn from these. This pain you feel is actually good, because end of the day you don't want to feel like this, right? So you change. You don't make these same mistakes. And there is a easy fix to this, which is just follow the trade entry blueprint. Start writing. Actually, just start jotting down or making quick notes like this, where like the pros of the trade, where you'd say it's pro swing, right? It has a liquidity sweep. It's LC2A verified, stuff like that. And then what are the cons, right? The cons is like counter the internal. It's counter the 4 hour, right? Let's just say counter the 4 hour, or there was a huge 4 hour sweep. Stuff like that, and you just put them into perspective. And even when you decide on what is the probability of this trade working out, you have considered stuff like, is it pro swing, whatever. Because right now we did say we'll avoid the counter swing, counter internal trade, but you end up taking a counter swing, counter internal trade because of complacency. You're just not doing this process again of physically writing down, what is this internal or is it not internal? Is this counter swing or is it not counter swing? So easy fix to this is just to go back and just physically write down your pros and cons before taking the trade, which should help with these types of mistakes, right? I've been yapping for 30 minutes, so GU, we didn't get anything valid today, just basically shot down and shot up. And USD CAD did the same thing. I was looking for something in here, did not get a valid entry, and then same as GU, it shot up, shot down, no entry anywhere. But yeah, okay, that's pretty much it. Just try and fix these, and don't make the same mistakes. Yeah, that's it. Peace.